Come, fart, piss. Welcome everybody back to another episode of the WWE Save. We are on the first Monday night Raw of May 2014, and we are only 3 weeks away due to complications with the draft and everything from our next pay-per-view event, which will be Bash at the Beach. I forget if I said the different schedule. I changed up some of the names of the events there, but yeah, Bash at the Beach is our next pay-per-view, and very exciting. A lot of stuff has changed on Raw. Most of the champions are the same besides the United States Championship. Obviously watch the last event, sorry for the one fucking spoiler, but, do that so you won't be confused here. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, I'm just rambling on. Fuck it, here's the fucking actual show. We start up the show with, Bryan coming out to the Yes Chants, as it usually does. And, Robert Downey Jr. is in the ring. He is drunk, again. And Bryan looks at him, and, all 19,000 of the Barclays Center still doing the Yes Chants. He's like, God damn it, this is our GM? Okay, whatever. I beat Triple H. Who would have thought? But, hey, I'm still the WWE Champion, and, we have entered the new era of WWE. Not a too different era, if you ask me. It's just an era where everybody gets the shot. As long as I have this championship, everyone's getting the shot at it. So I assume someone wants to come out, someone wants to bitch and cry about getting a shot, and someone actually I like will show up. So let's bring him out, and that's when Wade Barrett comes out, and Wade Barrett's like, Bryan, you're small, and Daniel Bryan's like, holy shit, my God, I haven't heard that one in ages, bro. And Wade Barrett basically goes on to challenge, as Daniel Bryan insinuated, for the WWE Championship. But then John Morrison comes out. And, obviously John Morrison and Wade Barrett, they have both been having huge problems for just the last kind of couple of months. Even before this, they've had spats before. Two guys who kind of, have not reached the top of the mountain before, and they're both trying to claw their way onto it. And Daniel Bryan basically says, look, I actually like both of you guys as challengers. Wade, you're kind of a dick, but, in terms of wrestling, I like the prospect of facing both of you guys. But, in the sake of fairness, I think the best way we could solve this, unless our general manager has any other ideas, and Robert Downey Jr. is literally just blacked out on the ring apron. He's like, great. I think we should have a one-on-one match tonight between Mr. John Morrison and Mr. Wade Barrett. And in 3 weeks' time, the winner of that match will face yours truly for the WWE Championship. It's make or break time, guys. Let's see what you got. And Daniel Bryan, we basically set up, our main event tonight is John Morrison versus Wade Barrett. This promo was, I didn't really have the opening promo laid out too well. And Robert Downey Jr. again is still drunk. He probably will wake up later on the show. It is 3 hours. And then we have Austin Aries, the former U.S. champion, versus Shelton Benjamin. And Shelton Benjamin actually picks up the win. Austin Aries seems to be in a funk. You could see, kind of like as that last storyline said, his smile and optimism truly gone. But Shelton Benjamin hits the pay dirt in 1805 to pick up the win. Shelton Benjamin is just doing really, really good for himself, lately. It's very impressive when you get down to it, after all. Next up, we have women's match. We have AJ and the Coven wrestling. The war against the Coven is still strong. The Coven have just seemed almost unstoppable. In tag matches like this, they usually don't do that great, mostly because they're pop. They can't really win besides, like, Melissa. But, the point is still, you get it. But AJ Lee leads the Gatecrashers to a victory over the Coven, when AJ Lee pins Kaylee Von Scarlett with the spinning heel kick for the win. 82, very nice. And we have Shelton Benjamin talking about, to Michael Cole, and he talks, he's like, I'm here with Michael, I'm here with Michael Cole. I am interviewing Michael Cole, and I am Michael Cole. And Shelton Benjamin looks at him like he's having a stroke, and then Michael Cole's like, well, Shelton, you actually literally retired Kane at Extreme Rules. He's left WWE. He's gone. He's no more. You have ended 20 years of wrestling history. How exactly do you feel? Shawn Michaels like, I feel fucking fantastic. Like, I'm with Charlie Haas. We came back, and, obviously everybody wants the world championship, but, I figured tag team was really all I was going to be, but, I always knew I was great, and a lot of people out there know I'm great. I have lots of special fans who are really, really cool. And I think that beating Kane has cemented my position on the card a little bit. No more am I just a tag team guy. You could possibly say I'm even a legend killer. And Randy Orton literally just immediately teleports in and RKOs the fuck out of Shelton Benjamin. And he's just like, don't use my catchphrase. And, like, he just leaves, and Michael Cole is still having a stroke. He's like, I'm Michael Cole. And, yeah, poor Shelton Benjamin RKO'd for even insinuating that he is a quote-unquote legend killer. A truly sad day in the career of Shelton Benjamin, but this probably won't be the last we hear about that. We then have Sami Zayn, I meant the NXT champion at the beginning. I'm really stupid. Sami Zayn takes on Dean Ambrose of The Shield. The Shield came out last night and beat up the new NXT champion, Kevin Steen, and his friend and tag team partner, the United States champion, Sami Zayn. And, a fun little match, very big sprint, heavy. And, yeah, we have Sami Zayn defeat Dean Ambrose with the Brain Buster in 1822. And then after that, the Shield just comes out and they just start, ground and pound, and, the Shield, they start taking out Sami Zayn, but Kevin Steen comes out and he has a chair, and that's kind of like the one equalizer. And then Robert Downey Jr. comes out. He has gained consciousness, actually, and he's like, listen, guys, holy shit, I have a fantastic idea. Okay, no joke, right there, the loudest car horn just sounded outside my window. So, like, it's literally scared the absolute shit out of me. That's why I had to cut it. Anyway, Robert Downey Jr. makes a tag team match between Sami Zayn, Kevin Steen, and two members of The Shield. We will learn which one of those will accept that later down the line. But Sami Zayn, Kevin Steen, looks like they're going to war with The Shield, and The Shield obviously want those belts. It's just a matter of time well, it's not a matter of time of when they get them. It's if they can get them. I'm really off my game today. I kind of just jumped right into it, but who cares? Then we have Chris Jericho. Jericho comes to the ring after commercial. And he's just talking about, Alberto Del Rio. And he's like, Alberto Del Rio came to this brand. And he has just insulted me at every single turn. I don't know why people keep doing this. I leave on tour with a little bit for Fozzy. I team up with the Big Show. Like, when I came back at the end of last year, not the last year, I'm against stupid, the year before, 2012, like, this whole company was just absolutely in a different state. Like, this company is now just fucked. Like, I have no idea what's going on. Robert Downey Jr. apparently is our general manager. I have no idea what's happening right now. But I will know this. I'm just going to cut to the chase. Alberto Del Rio, you talk all that smack, you talk all that shit. I want you at Bash at the Beach. I'm a WCW legend. It's only fitting that I wrestle in the WCW themed show. And I'll show you that I still am the best in the world, no matter what or when. We then have a match between Madison Lane and Layla. Very good women's match. Madison Lane just killing in the ratings. 12:01 spinning Yakuza kick. Nothing too fancy there. We then have Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton, two guys who lost to the Kings of Wrestling. And Kofi Kingston, like, he just shows up and he's like, Randy, we lost, and honestly, it's my fault, and I just want you to know that when it comes to these guys, we're not gonna let them, do that. We're gonna stop them from achieving even more success, because these kind of guys at the top, you and me know that the Kings of Wrestling can do a lot of harm, if you know what I mean. They have the ability to just take over this company, and them at the top is not something I think anybody really would like to see. So what do you say? And Randy Orton's like, honestly, Kofi, fuck you. You lost. you screwed me. I lost to the kings of wrestling. And you're right. Them being at the top, they're going to take over this company. Honestly, it's not that really bad. Coming that from you is really awkward. Weren't you that kind of guy? Weren't you kind of the tag team dude that wanted to get to the top and then got there, but then was denied it a little bit? I'd figure after all these past few months that you of all people would know what that's about. But honestly, no, I'm not gonna help you, Kofi. When it comes to the Kings of Wrestlings, fuck them. I'm done with them. I got some other stuff to deal with a certain legend-killing wannabe. But you want to fight the Kings of Wrestling? You want to stop the tide of the Kings of Wrestling, Kofi? You could be my guest, honestly, but yeah, I'm not helping you. And Randy Orton just walks away, and Kofi Kingston just in shock. He just assumed that Randy would not let a loss like that slide, but maybe Randy Orton's right. Maybe Kofi Kingston. It's a little weird coming from Kofi Kingston, all this stuff, but you know, we'll deal with that when we deal with that. Speaking of the Kings Wrestling, they absolutely kick fucking ass, and holy fucking shit. I did not expect this to get a 96, but that's good. They take on Dragon Aces, Dragon Aces, and they just go the distance, 21 minutes. You know, Kings of Wrestling obviously really showed themselves last night, but here, it's like a whole new ball game. We just have, you know, we have the Kings of Wrestling basically just show up and just absolutely dominate the Dragons. Like to say, go the distance, but it's mostly just Kings of Wrestling. Eventually, Hangman's Elbow pins Yoshitatsu. Probably Antonio Cesaro does the European uppercut to knock out Tanahashi. And we have I was about to say tag champions. What am I doing? But the Kings of Wrestling looking to go up the card. They might be solid main eventers at this point. Maybe even Chris Hero. Antonio Cesaro's there, but you know, we've definitely stepped up the game and how, you know, these guys are. And then we have us watching this tag team match. Our tag team champions, Air Harem. You know, the Tokyo Pimp, Yujiro Takahashi, and Evan Bourne. Evan Bourne still has his body pillow. He won't let that thing go. We tried to get him away from it, but it just not. And Yujiro Takahashi is like, wow, what a great tag team match. I wish those guys challenged us for the tag team titles. And then Evan Bourne's like, you know, I kind of really liked the American Wolves. So they were pretty good. That was a pretty fun match we had. Charlie's like, yeah, hopefully no really shitty tag team shows up to challenge us. And then England's Finest shows up. And they're like, oh, fuck. God damn it. And England's Finest are like, you know, yada yada England shit. And then the Motor City Machine Guns are like, oh my god, guys, please shut the fuck up. If anyone needs to fight the tag team champions, it's definitely us. We deserve a shot at the tag team titles. And honestly, Yujiro's like straight up, he's just like, okay, England's Finest. If we give you this title shot at Bash at the Beach, and we also give it to Sabin and Shelley, will you please just leave us alone? Because I don't want to wrestle you again. I'm literally so fucking sick and tired of seeing England's Finest on the show. And Douglas Williams, his feelings are hurt. He's like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, you're gonna have to be so mean about it, but you know. And Yujiro's like, great. Absolutely great. So yeah, Bash at the Beach, that's what it's gonna be. And then Motor City Machine Guns then just start kicking the shit out of the tag team champions. And England's Finest are like, should we join in on that? And then they decided to join in on that. And they all start beating up the tag team champions. The body pillow gets an elbow drop. It's madness in the backstage there. We then have a shitty match between Frankie Kazarian and Principe. I've never known. Rey Mysterio's nephew. I can never fucking pronounce that. I'm trying to take Spanish, but it's fucking weird. Apparently he suffered a spinal disalignment. I'm not sure how that works. They both got the funny number, and the match got the funny number, so this is just a funny number match. Yeah, nothing really to say about that. Yeah, I know Harvey Wippleman. And then we have our main event, 97. Back and forth between these guys. A title shot on the line. Wade Barrett hits the wasteland on John Morrison. Probably does it out mid-air, and he wins. And it's going to be Wade Barrett officially taking on Daniel Bryan at Bash at the Beach. To which Daniel Bryan comes out and he stares down with Wade Barrett. And as the stare down happens, as Wade Barrett kind of, they both kind of stand there waiting for one to leave the ring. Wade Barrett kind of backs away. And that's when John Morrison just super kicks Daniel Bryan right in the back of the head. And he just starts beating down on Daniel Bryan. He's in a fit of rage. He's like, you could just tell he is absolutely pissed that he had to lose once again. And it's driving him mad. And he just beats down Daniel Bryan as Wade Barrett kind of watches, surprised, honestly, at this just sight of rage from John Morrison, a normally cool guy. And the sight of John Morrison standing over our champion ends the show. And we get a 97, which is pretty good. Like this episode of Raw, we filled the Barclays Center, so, pretty fun overall. Just building up, kind of, we gotta have to have a little faster build than normal for Bash at the Beach, but I really don't mind it, This is not a really serious WWE save as it is. Some other people there. Keep watching the WWE save. I appreciate it. Our subscriber count just keeps going up. I just want to thank you for that. 64 also has started a great WWE save that's more serious and actually, knows, what the fuck. Well, I know what the fuck I'm doing. It's just, it doesn't change the fact that it's fucking stupid. So, if you want an actual serious WWE save, go watch that. I mean, watch my videos too. I'd be really sad if you didn't. I would actually cry. But yeah, that's about that. I will see you guys for SmackDown.